Hey everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, my goodness, it is hard to believe that we are now halfway through August. And gosh, in no time at all, we're going to be talking about Labor Day and the end of summer and consequently, well, the end of summer holidays as we know at the end of summer. Let me not rush it, right? Summer goes all the way to the end of September, at which point the fourth quarter of the year starts, and this is where we really got to button everything together and really achieve everything that we want to do, achieve your maximum potential. And that is, if you want to sell 10 vehicles per month or 20 vehicles per month or 30 vehicles per month, that is 120 a year, 240, 360. It's time to really turn the screws up on all of your follow-up efforts. Really get a hold of those e-leads as fast as you possibly can. I just went through the experience myself. I was looking at purchasing a boat and saw it online, exactly what I would like to go with. Thought I'll email the dealer, and it has all the call to actions right there on their website. Send a request for information on the boat and someone to call you. I did so. And the guy did not actually call me. I followed up with him and found out that he didn't even know whether they had the boat in stock. He didn't know whether it was still available. He didn't know why it was showing up on the website. He didn't know where it would be, and thought, wow, this doesn't exactly inspire confidence. So make sure you know your inventory inside and out. That's the message there. Second part of that equation is jump on those e-leads as fast as you possibly can. I saw a statistic the other day doing research for my on-stage presentation for 5 days next week in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where we'll be sharing with you the secrets of both social media and the fundamentals, the activities that lead to the sale, as well as your product and planning. And of course, this is a sponsored event, so it is a closed door event, and that's why it was not advertised and nobody was offered a ticket to be able to attend it, because it is sponsored by an OE and a particular group of dealers. Anyhow, that being said, when it comes to e-leads, you want to jump on it. The research that I discovered was that they really expect us to respond within 5 minutes. You know, the old adage, if you're not responding to them within an hour, that is long gone well behind us. If you're not responding to them within 15 minutes was the rule of thumb, at least through the inventory shortage and the new rule. And now we're starting to see if you're not responding within 5 to 10 minutes, then what happens is not so much you're not going to get it. I mean, let's be candid. It doesn't feel like we're going to get these people anyhow, because they're not calling. They're definitely not in the showroom. It doesn't necessarily suggest that they are as intentional as somebody that is standing in front of us or calling us. But if you're not attempting to get a hold of them while they are hot, you know, I'm thinking to myself, when I was looking at this boat, I was like, oh, wow. I was looking for one particular model. This one never comes up as pre-owned, is never available in a dealer's inventory as new. There was nothing on the website to suggest how much they are new. And so I was kind of excited about it because I really like the look of it. And so that's when I clicked on email me information. And of course, 3 hours later, I just couldn't stand it anymore, because I'm rather in the mode and want to purchase a boat. By the way, I haven't. And I called the individual and then find out that his incompetence of not knowing his inventory didn't inspire a lot of confidence with me to buy. And lo and behold, got the answer that I fully expected, that it wasn't available. And then my excitement meter cools off. But here's the thing, my excitement meter was cooling off the whole time from the point where I said, yes, email me the information. So keep that in mind. If you really do want to sell 10, 20, 30 vehicles per month, you need to strike while the iron is hot. And so that is the reason why we're doing these 10 objections today with respect to buyers' objections that we're experiencing out on the showroom floor. And I'm getting these objections from all of you, from certainly paying clients that are part of the Auto Dealership Academy's manifesto program. And I'll put a link to that down below, where you can book a 15-minute call with me and we can just explore and discover whether you would be a good candidate. I would be a good teacher, trainer, coach for you to be able to join that program that is not expensive. It is not $10,000, not $7,000, not $5,000, not half of that, where you can get in and build your acumen, that is your professional demeanor, design, and selling ability to reach your maximum potential. Be it 10 vehicles per month. To get into 20 vehicles per month is not that difficult to do with only 40 leads. I'm happy to walk you through it with all the proof and the social proof of specific metrics of clients that are actually doing it. Not to mention those two guys that I mention all the time, Joe and Glenn, who are wonderful friends now and have made an income in 7 figures selling automobiles. One at a Mercedes-Benz dealership, the other at a Chevrolet dealership. So you can do this too. When you have the ability to quickly and efficiently overcome these 10 objections that I'm getting from everybody that I'm going through the dialogue and conversation, who are clients of the manifesto, and going through the one-on-one coaching sessions. So as you see me look up, I'm looking at my whiteboard that I've put these objections on as I'm talking to people on the phone. And so what we're hearing right now, this time of the year, as much as new model announcement is now far less exciting than it was 3-4 decades ago, and what is old can be new again. So if you're a manager or an owner watching this, give some thought to reintroducing the new model announcement, which comes along typically the beginning of the 4th quarter of the year every year, and that creates a lot of hype and excitement. This is the reason why employee pricing is offered during the summer months with some manufacturers, and primarily right now with Ford relaunching employee pricing, a program that had wonderful success for 15 years, a decade and a half, and then they decided to do away with it, largely because of pandemic protocol, obviously, and then the inventory shortage. And now as we return to pre-pandemic levels or pre-inventory shortage levels, it makes sense to help the dealers and to offer these fantastic deals to consumers who would like to buy, to clear out of, this was always the purpose, to clear out of the old inventory. When the manufacturer helps us move product, you know why, right? The whole purpose of why they're doing that is to be able to bring on new product. Right? That is the sole primary reason why all of this happens. And you know what, gang? Give me 2 seconds here. I just realized that I'm not on LinkedIn. And I can quickly go to that and just turn that on so that we can make sure that all of our friends on LinkedIn "10 objections." And here, sorry about that. I just realized this moment in time. Oh my gosh. We just have to get that on there. And there we are. Okay, we've got everybody online now. The LinkedIn gang is there. We got to go live. Because I did mention it, I did say that I would be live at this time. So for all of you in the LinkedIn private members group, my apologies for this appearing late. I forgot. That's all it is. And for everybody watching, I am in very casual attire because it is summertime. And I hope you're wearing golf shirts where you are. But this is the Automotive Business School where I teach at as faculty. And just find that it's that time of the year, right? We're thinking about going back to school, going back to college. I was meeting with a dealer and his sales team yesterday. And he was introducing me to a student who is working for them for the summertime. Was a co-op student at high school and did a stint, a semester as a co-op student in the dealership, and now he's going on to the Automotive Business School. And that got me thinking yesterday, well, tomorrow I probably should wear my Automotive Business School t-shirt or sweatshirt. It's way too warm right now to wear the sweatshirt. So let's go back to new model announcement. That's what we were talking about, these 10 objections. For those of you on LinkedIn, you haven't missed anything. We've just started going into the objections. So when the customer says, I'm waiting for the new models to come along, the easiest and fastest way for you to overcome this objection is that makes a lot of sense. I completely get that. What I can share with you is the representative model of the current model, and especially if there isn't a change at all, that not that you want to say there's absolutely nothing different about the new one, especially if there isn't a body or a reskin or an interior change or a complete model revamp. You don't want to say it's exactly the same next year as it is this year. if you do accidentally say that, then you can follow it up with, if you would like to save a lot of money in order to go with the 2024 over the 2025s, then I can really help you right now. And that's the purpose of employee pricing, red tag sales, red tag days, the checkered flag sale event. You know the manufacturer that I'm talking to. If this is your particular brand of year-end surge event, model clear out. This doesn't include surge events such as Bosses Away sale or the Gorilla on the Roof or the private sale event, but capitalizing on the fact that you need to think very quickly and find out what is the hot button. If the client wants to wait for the new model announcement, then you may want to capitalize on planting the seed on what the new model is going to be like. And then share with them. Every year we typically look at a 2 to 3% price increase on those automobiles, justifying inflation and all the rest of it, as well as new tooling. And of course, there might be a couple of features that are going to be on the new vehicles that are chargeable features on the old one. And of course, we've seen in the past when some models have lost features. So be sure to bring that to your clients' attention. And don't forget the fact to show them the 2024 and get them excited about it. Build that value bridge from where they are now, what their trade is not doing for them, to where they want to be, even though they've walked in and said, I'd like to know more about what the new vehicle will be like, and then I would primarily wait for that to come in. Now, the second objection, I need to think about this purchase. Okay, this one is unquestionably a stall. Because if you believe that the customer has transcended the steps that get there, these are not the steps to the sale. You know I don't teach steps to the sale. I teach activities that lead to the sale. You need to do an interview to arrive at a selective walk-around presentation, addressing the hot buttons people are looking for, take them out and demonstrate what those features can do in a real-world situation, and then you can ask if they have a trade-in. Those are the activities that lead to the sale. That has nothing to do with the steps that a client takes to get there. And notice how I go up on those steps, because this is work. So as I've suggested before, everyone will think about it. This is how you know that every shopper is a buyer. So by the time they get to you, either on the phone or walking into the showroom, maybe not so much as an e-lead, because they're just not that excited about it, or they could be that excited like I was about the boat, and they're just like, reach out to me. I don't know what your schedules are like. I don't know what time you get in. I don't know how many people are in front of you. But my goodness, when you see the email come in, I'm interested in this, jump on it. Even if you're not prepared, even if you don't have your talk tracks and your dialogues up in front of you on your screen, which I do believe you should, and I will link a description below to the manifesto, and I can share with you all of what that looks like and take you into the back end of what the program will be if you elect to join. And it is not 10,000, 7,000, 5,000. It's half of that. You can get that. And yeah, a link down below. To jump on a call with me. 15 minutes could change your life. When you hear I need to think about it, you know that the client has done that a long time ago. They thought about it 6 months plus a day ago. And I say 6 months plus a day because Google in their ZMod study will share with us that customers on average shop for 6 months. Well, what Google's not taking into account is the talking and the thinking steps that happen before that. By the time they get to searching online, the 180 web pages, the 90 websites, they've already made the decision on the brand. Now they're narrowing it down to the features, trim level features and color. So that by the time they reach out to you, we know they have gone into the dealership probably on Sunday or after hours in a non-confrontational setting where they cannot be sold anything. So when they say I need to think about it, actually something has gone awry. And now you need to go back to the basics, back to your fundamentals of the interview and go digging for those hot buttons. What is triggering this shopping event right now? Because when they say I want to think about it, it means no to buying your product. You need to get to yes. So is the product not big enough, small enough, new enough? Is the mileage too much? Are there too many scratches, dents, especially with pre-owned automobiles? We're having so much success selling pre-owned. And I believe it's because the monthly payment is such a shock to so many people, even though they have done their research and they know that. So they come in now looking for a pre-owned. And that's a challenge for us because we don't manufacture pre-owned vehicles. So don't forget about selling those brand new vehicles out front. They become pre-owned. Even though the monthly payment has doubled, tripled, and quadrupled, we need to get to that point where we're balancing our sales with 50% new, 50% pre-owned. Right? It's really easy. And as salespeople, this is the only time I will accuse you of being lazy. It's very easy for us to transition over to pre-owned because a vehicle with a little bit of mileage can save a client thousands of dollars, can become very affordable. That makes us lazy because the client may have come in on a brand new product. And so be careful presenting the switch vehicle too early. That I want to think about it is the opportune time now to present alternative options that are less expensive, bigger, more luxurious, higher trim levels for the same bi-weekly as what they are currently looking at on the ground. Now, thirdly, we get that objection right now a lot. I want to shop around, or I am shopping around. This is the first place I've been to. I plan on taking my time this step around because vehicles have gone up so much in price. And at the end of the day, customers are really smart, always have been, because the person in negotiation that has the most to lose will have the greatest vested interest and therefore come up with the best solutions to manipulate and control the sale, the close, and the negotiation. This is when I want to shop around really kicks in, because what the client doesn't understand is that, be it new or used, we all pay the same price for those vehicles. Now, it was a whole lot easier before when the auction houses were full of product, and that was the only place that we were going and sourcing our pre-owned inventory from. Now, we source pre-owned inventory from wherever we can get it, and largely, in many cases, a lot of you are really great at sourcing it from your customer database. But here's the thing. Even when we're purchasing it from that customer database, doesn't mean that we're going to overpay for that product just to be able to help that client out of their vehicle. We still need to consider reconditioning, advertising, overhead of the dealership, salaries that need to be paid, plus your commission. So even when we buy them off the curb, we're probably paying the same amount of money that we would pay at the blocks purchasing a vehicle at an auction house. So when the client says that I want to shop around, be sure to share with them, we all pay the same price for the vehicles, right? And then when you believe that they've transcended that step process and you've done that interview which identifies the hot button of what they're looking for, then what is it that they're shopping around for? And I believe it's you. So this is where your attractive character becomes so necessary. And what your attractive character how you can leverage your attractive character in the most equitable light for yourself is to take them out and show them your whole entire product line, including the pre-owned. And the advantage of doing this is that the customer now makes choices. No, I wouldn't take that. No, I wouldn't buy that. No, I'd never purchase that brand. No, I'd never be driving that color. When they have those choices to make, and they narrow it down to, yeah, that isn't too bad. Yeah, I do like that. Yes, that is affordable. Now you can reiterate what they have agreed to, that you said that was affordable. You said that was a good idea. You said you could see yourself driving it. Why are you going to waste days, weeks, hours, days, weeks, months shopping around when you can have the vehicle of your dreams right now and you could get on with the rest of your life, towing your boat, towing your house trailer, going to friends and family reunions, and they all see you driving that F-150, Ram, Tundra, Silverado, Escalade, Navigator, M-Class, X-Series, Land Rover, whatever it is. Why would you wait 5 more minutes? Why would you frustrate and aggravate yourself by driving around and finding a sales consultant that is going to tell you everything that you want to hear, and then you discover afterwards that it wasn't the vehicle that you actually want to go with? This is how you present your attractive character for the purpose of that know, like, trust badge of honor. When we serve, when we really give ourselves up to serve and help the clients, that's when they'll make the decision to buy. Now, we could have had up to this point, or we may be going forward now, halfway through August. I'm going on vacation and we'll make this decision when we get back. Well, that could be smoke and mirrors for, you're not really sharing with me, showing me getting me the deal that I'm looking for. And so I got to shop around because I'm going on vacation. I'm going to tow my boat. I'm going to tow my house trailer. We're going to drive out east for a family reunion. And I'd really like to be driving a brand new vehicle to do so. So you could share with that client at that moment in time, number one, the scarcity of these vehicles as employee pricing is kicking in and creating a lot of hype in the marketplace. You could share with them, I only have 56 of these trucks. I only have 20 of these particular SUVs. I only have one of this camper style customized van. And you know, now is the time. If we could have it ready for you today, tomorrow, or by the weekend, would that be helpful? Can create enough action that your client may want to go with it, as opposed to buying their story, right? This is what I hear all the time with these objections that are coming up. Clients say, I'm going on vacation. We'll make that decision when we get back. I'll call you when we get back. And if you say, okay, great, yep, that makes sense, and let them go, there's a very good chance you may have missed out on that sale. There's a very real condition that maybe they're away on vacation, they do drop into a dealership, and that person says, well, while you're away on vacation, we'll take your truck in on trade right now and you can drive away in the new one. The spot delivery thing came to me by accident in two capacities. One time I was selling a pickup truck to a guy who was a lobster salesperson on the East Coast. And when he came into the dealership, he goes, I'm deciding between that maroon truck and that blue truck. I said, okay, it's your choice. But we need to know to lift the cooler out of your current vehicle, put it in the new one, get it detailed and ready and PDI'd so that you can drive home in it. All you need to do is go up to the bank, which is 4 blocks up the street, and get me a draft. And that was enough. You could just imagine the guy's trying to pick between two colors and he doesn't know which to go with because he likes both colors. I just introduced something to him that was so powerful, so strong, created so much scarcity and urgency. He had to pick a color to get a vehicle identification number to go up to the bank to get a draft so that he could pay me and drive away in his automobile, and I could get the plates transferred over and registered. All happened within an afternoon. Another guy was on half loads with his particular truck, his transport trucks. And I said, okay, great. We agreed on a price. I said, come back in 3 days. I'll have your truck ready. Goes, oh, no. I'm on half loads right now. I'm not coming back. If you can't have the truck ready right now, I'm going on to the next Dodge dealer that will have the truck and be able to deliver it for me. And of course, he was going to one of my competitors, which I'm sure they would have said yes. I said, hang on a second. Go across the road, have lunch on me. When you get back, your truck will be ready to go. The finance department didn't like it. The bank certainly didn't like us calling and telling them, you got to get this ready right now. But that scarcity and urgency is what will help you with going on vacation. I want to shop around. I need to think about it. If they know that they could have it right now, that may be all it takes to get this deal done and eliminate the shopping. As much as shopping for an automobile can be fun, it's a daunting task. They're probably going to meet, look, 53% of car buyers say that they like their salesperson. That means a whole 47% do not like the car buying experience. 83% say they don't like negotiation. There's a lot of reasons for them not to enjoy this experience that you and I think, when they give us one of these excuses, they just want to delay it and carry it on. Okay, number 5. I want to talk it over with my spouse, my mechanic, my dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, my in-laws, whomever, grandparents, neighbor, whoever that automotive authority is. Now, talking it over, pardon me, I was a little dry throat there. Talking it over with a spouse, with a grandparent, with a parent, with a mechanic is the second step of the transformation that they have transcended in order to be able to get to us. Remember, the transformation is from shopper to buyer. They've gone up the steps. They've endured the journey. They've put in the effort to arrive at your make, your model, your dealership. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense that they're going to want to go back to step number 2. So you can highlight that for them. You can say, look, in all the years and all the days and all the weeks and all the minutes that I've been selling automobiles, and you can imagine if you're brand new at it, then you've been at it for minutes, which is a whole lot longer than anybody else has been. And of course, if you've been at it for years, and all the years that I've been selling an automobile, what I find that people come down to 3 questions when they want to talk it over with them. Number 1, is now a good time to buy? Let me show you why. And take them back to the old offer and compare it to the new offer, right? That's the juxtaposition, and structure it, because you never ask a question you don't know the answer to, that it works out in your favor right now. Every next offer is a little bit better than the last. And of course, with employee pricing and year-end model clear out and summer sell down and bosses away event, this should be the best time for them to buy. So when I want to talk it over with somebody else, that suggests that they are stalling, not confident in their decision, and you just need to help them arrive at that confidence level. That confidence simply could be, your conversation is going to go one of 2 ways with speaking with your spouse. And I get it. I would want to do it myself. Purchasing an automobile is the second greatest financial decision you make in your life. For most of us, it's the most significant financial decision, especially at this moment in time. So here's how the conversation is going to go. You're either going to say to them, I found a car today. I found a truck, SUV, an automobile, in other words, and I'd really like to go with it, but I don't know. Like, will there be a better deal down the road? Should I shop around some more? Should I lease it versus finance it? Or this is how the conversation could go. You say to your spouse, you say to your mechanic, you say to your dad, you say to your grandparent, you say to your children, whoever's helping you with the decision, I found an automobile today and I think it's perfect for me. I didn't buy it because I just wanted to run it by you first. What I really like about it is the features. What I love about it is the color, the bi-weekly, the weekly, the monthly payment is affordable, albeit on the high end of my budget, but it is still within my budget. But here's the thing. I met a salesperson today that I really believe understands my situation. They were candid. They did not pressure me. They allowed me this opportunity to come to you and speak to you about purchasing the automobile. And I think I really want to go with it. What do you think? Now, at the end of those 2 questions, right? This is how the conversation can go. You ask them this: which conversation are you going to have? It's a no-brainer, isn't it? It's going to be the second question. It's going to be the second dialogue, right? And what that does is, if the client does get away from you and has that conversation, it sets them up for that perfect dialogue and conversation, so they'll come back to you. On the other side of the equation, if they don't feel a necessity to go home and talk to them because of you planting that seed, which goes deep to their psyche, their subconscious, they could say, you know what? I know how the conversation is going to go right now. They're going to say, do it. Let's get it. So I may as well get this over and done with right now. You see how easy it is to close these sales when you put yourself in the customer's shoes. And then when you give the customer the control of making the decision to purchase the vehicle, such as your conversation is going to go one of 2 ways. Which conversation are you going to have? They feel like they're making a decision, which makes them feel like they are in control, which takes the pressure off selling and makes it that much easier for you to be able to hit your targets of 10, 20, and 30 vehicles per month. Now, number 6, we're concerned about resale of this particular model. That can be a concern today, especially with electrification and fully electric automobiles. We're starting to see a huge transition and a migration from, I want electric, we need to go electric, the whole brand, the whole line has to go electric, to not really sure if I want to, or a hybrid version of electric, or is gas still the way to go? We're still not seeing enough charge stations. The infrastructure still isn't quite there, and governments are backing off on the incentives that they provided originally in the beginning. So, albeit electrification is a great idea, the customer still has to put a charge station in their garage. They don't even know whether they can get enough power to the house and support that charge station on a 400 amp service and the 120 volt charge pack. It could take many hours, including days, to be able to charge that vehicle back up to just 80% to be able to get to the next destination. This could be a concern. Then they may have heard, read, or seen something about trade-in values dropping. So you want to share with them that if this is a concern, that while the technology is catching up to, while the infrastructure is building itself up to accommodate all these vehicles, why don't you short-term lease something such as a hybrid, a gasoline and electric hybrid, or a gasoline automobile at this biweekly? And when the technology gets to the point where charging is faster, power isn't as required, aerodynamics make the vehicle that much more efficient. That's where I think that one is coming up the most, concerned about resale of the value of the vehicle. Resale is only affected when quality and condition gets significantly hampered within the marketplace, and then it's very difficult to turn those over. So that's what we are seeing. As you well know, some of the trade-ins, some models aren't even attractive for us to take in on trade, and I can only imagine that is the one popping up. So that's the best objection handling I have for you. I will link a comment. We'll put the link to the manifesto where we can book a 15-minute call. Happy to share more details specifically on that with you to help you get over that hurdle. Number 7, not sure if I should buy right now or wait. This always happens this time of the year in the summer because people have time in their hands. They're searching on their phone. If they've talked to anybody else and the microphone is on and Facebook or Google are listening, it's going to come up in their feed. If they're not aware of the security settings and how to control and manipulate that in their mobile handy device, then they're going to get a lot of advertisements. And the more advertisements they get, the more confused they will be. And the confused mind always says no. What you want to do is settle them down to the choices they would like to make. Number 1 is identifying the pain. What is the reason why you would even consider looking at a new vehicle or a newer vehicle right now? That's the transformation bridge of what their vehicle isn't doing to what their new one will do. Could be reliability, could be fuel economy, could be electrification, could be interest rates, could be year-end model clear out and employee pricing. When you can find that and latch onto it, sink your mental teeth into it, now it makes it very easy for you to overcome that objection. If they're just casting this out as smoke and mirror for you, then you could cast back to them the choice close of, let's say for instance, you entered a contest and the desirable vehicle that you came in on is available, as well as, and select 2 automobiles they would never consider. So let's say for instance, they're looking at a Blazer, a Bronco, a Renegade, a 4Runner, or a Highlander, or a CRV for that matter. And you have in your lineup a Civic and maybe a Land Rover as a pre-owned automobile. And you say, of all these 3 vehicles, which one, if you won them in a contest, which one would you take? Now that Land Rover has to be priced according to the CRV, but it would have mileage on it because selling as a new vehicle would have to be depreciated to what the point of the CRV would sell for. And of course, you want to pick a Civic, such as an SI, which would almost compete with the price of the CRV. That way, it's a level playing ground on the price, and this is reasonable. You're not picking suggestions and making recommendations that are so blatantly obvious that you're manipulating and controlling it. But that could be enough to help the client say, oh, I want the CRV, unquestionably. That is the vehicle that we want to be driving. Great. Then I'll eliminate these 2. And let me show you how easy and affordable it is to own. That can only happen after you've leveraged the activities that lead to the sale. If you haven't done a walk around, you've got to go back to do that. If you haven't done a demonstration drive, you absolutely must do that. Even just to get them sitting in it, even get them driving around the building, especially if the client says, I don't need to see it, I don't need to drive it, I just want to know what your best price is. Okay, well, let's go out on the lot and pick a stock number because that's what I'm going to need in order to get the best price. So, number 8, I'm worried about the payment. It may be a little higher than what I expected. Make no mistake, that client has created a budget before coming in. They don't want to embarrass you with, holy smokes, I'm paying $200 a month on the vehicle I'm currently driving, and the new one is going to be how much? $800 a month, or what's that? $392 bi-weekly? Well, nobody wants to go through that scenario and get that surprise, albeit I'm sure you could debate that with me at great length, and feel free to do so. Tell me what happened to you, but the reality is The client has been online. They've seen the price of the vehicles, even at 0%. If they take the price of the vehicle, add the tax, divide it by the term at 0%, that would get, pardon me, excuse me, that would give them some idea of what the monthly payment would be. Divide that by 2, that gives them some idea of what the bi-weekly would be, right? So when they say it could be too much, say no problem at all. Let me share with you a couple of choices then. And now you go to your payment chart and you put down $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 down. You do a lease for 24 and 36 months. You do a finance for 40, 48, 60, and 72 months, and you chart it out. And then when you have all of those payments, what do we have? 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 5 times 3 down payments. We've got 15 payments. It's a simple close this. Turn the sheet around and say, pick the payment that you want to go with. I'm pretty certain every single time they're going to pick the lower right-hand corner, but they're not going to like the down payment, and they may not even like the term. But here's the good news. They gave you an indication of where they want to be. That simply means that you go to a model that will fit into that payment, that you go to a purchasing vehicle, lease or finance, that fits into that payment. This could introduce the pre-owned vehicle, all of which the kind of client could say, no, I don't want pre-owned. No, I don't want to come out of a truck and go to an SUV. No, I don't want to go to a van. No, I don't want to go from a van to a car. You can say to them, can you hear what you're saying? You've already decided what you want to go with. In order for you to be able to get that and not be pre-owned, you probably know this through your research of discovering the vehicle. So I'm at a loss for how you don't find the value in this vehicle. Tell me what I need to do to help you make this decision. There's 3 ways that you can leverage negotiation, power negotiation. Number 1 is screaming and yelling, which is probably not going to work. That's a tactic that the buyer is going to use on you. Second of all is silence. Now, this is where you deliver up your close, and this is the reason why the first person who speaks loses. So you want to button up, throw away the key, not say anything when you deliver their close to find out what they're thinking. But when all else fails, you need to go to begging and pleading. And that is the third way of exerting pressure in negotiation. And that's when I say, tell me, help me, show me. Remember Jerry Maguire, the old movie Jerry Maguire, Tom Cruise, and working with the football team and the football player, and the football player is yelling, show me the money, Jerry, show me the money, show me the money, show me the money, Jerry. Begging and pleading with Jerry, go get me a decent contract. And when Tom Cruise got that message, then he could go to town working for his client, get him the deal of a lifetime, sign on the dotted line, get a big commission, everybody's happy, he's playing football at a rate that he feels he's worth. Well, this is how you overcome, I'm not sure if the payments are too high. That is a weak, vain attempt at the customer to negotiate with you. And then, of course, waiting for year-end clearance. Well, we're there. We're at year-end clearance right now. Now, the customer could be thinking year-end clearance for them is December, the end of the year. And while that is a great time to buy, it is also mired with the distraction of the holiday season, and consequently, we may not have the vehicle that they would like to go with, certainly not in the color that they would like to have, probably not in the trim level they want to go with, and definitely not with the features that they absolutely must have. So color, features, and vehicle itself are the 3 reasons not to wait for the end of the year. And what you want to share with them is that our carrying costs, as we have all discovered, as the interest rates have gone to exponential rates compared to what we were accustomed to 2019 and earlier, we are at a wonderful incentive as dealers and salespeople to turn the inventory very quickly. And that means for the customer, you get the year-end clearance sale, like the December Boxing Week sale price right now, because the vehicle sitting on the ground costs us so much money. So let me show you how affordable you can drive home in this vehicle this afternoon, tomorrow, or the next day. And then you tell me if that would actually fit your budget and meet your year-end clearance expectation, not to mention it's employee pricing. So if we could sweeten the deal, would you be interested in knowing what you could have it for right now? How does anybody say no to that? That's the purpose of your attractive character, presenting that irresistible offer that they just can't say no to. It's almost like, look, if you could deliver the vehicle right now and not pay for it until January, wouldn't you love to do that? Right? Not pay for it. All you're doing is deferring 90, 120 days. That's easily doable, provided your credit institution, your financing institution, will support their credit application, that is no problem. That is a wonderful way for you to capitalize on year-end clearance. And finally, lastly, as we've gone over time here, my apology, you could share with the client that when they say, I'm still undecided, not really sure whether I should go with this model or that model, not really sure whether I should go new or used, not really sure whether I should go lease or finance. Here's how you address it. On the models, I'm not really sure which model I should go to. Again, go back to not sure which one I should buy right now. If you won them in a contest, pick one they wouldn't take, pick a second one they wouldn't take, put the most desirable vehicle right in the center and say, if you won them in a contest, which one would you take? Because you know the answer to that. If they say, I don't know whether I should go new or used, you say, you know what? If you're prepared to accept a vehicle with a little bit of mileage, I can save you thousands. However, on the new one, I can save you hundreds. Who doesn't want to save thousands of dollars? They were the one that introduced the fact they're not sure whether they should go new or used. So highlight it, point it out to them, show them. On a new one, I can save you hundreds. On a pre-owned, I can save you thousands. And the thousands is from what the new one sold for to what you can sell it for right now. And of course, lease or finance, not really sure which way I should go. If they own their own business, if they work for a business that will give them a tax exemption letter stating that they need to use their vehicle and they are paid based on commission, that they can use their vehicle for tax purposes, lease is the way to go. And of course, if they are self-employed, that is absolutely unquestionably the best way for them to purchase a vehicle, that is to lease it. The other advantage of leasing the vehicle is, as you will find out through our program, and if you scroll down through all the other lives that are here in the group, you can find that one where, if you're going to trade it in anyway, as you're trading your vehicle in right now, then why don't you just buy the portion of the vehicle that you're going to use? Then you only pay tax on the portion of the vehicle that you're going to use. And the beauty of that is that if you're worried about the depreciation value and maybe you should wait to purchase the vehicle because you're worried that the vehicle won't be worth as much when you go to trade it in, the lease protects you and guarantees that. Certainly in a closed-end lease, it would do so. In an open-end lease, and depending on which one you're selling, whether it's an in-house and a brokered lease at open, or it's a manufactured lease at closed-end will guarantee them what they're going to get. So effectively, we're taking the trade-in, subtracting it from the purchase price today, and we're not asking them to pay for their trade-in. We're not asking them to have to finance 113% of the vehicle, or 110 or 108 or 105%, whatever your taxation rate is. We're just saying we take off the trade-in right now from the brand new vehicle, and that's all that you buy. That's all you pay tax on. You will have a decision to make at the end, which are 3 great decisions, whether you should buy it outright and continue driving it. You could drop it off and pick up another one and another set of keys, and in 3-4 years time we probably will have a new model. So I think that's a great way to go. The warranty is 3 years to 4 years anyhow, so that fits in perfectly with the manufacturer's scheduled warranty, which is built in and accompanies the vehicle at no charge to you. And the third great option is that because it is a trade-in amount that we're subtracting off of there, that means that at the end of your lease, you could tell all your friends, family, relative, and coworkers, neighbors, your network, in other words, that you're turning your vehicle in, and would anybody like to buy it? You don't have to tell them what the residual amount is. You could add a little bit of money to that, funnel that deal through us as a convenience deal. We will have to certify the vehicle to turn it over to them anyway. And that little bit of money that you make selling it to a colleague, a neighbor, a coworker, we will roll into the new deal, and nobody is any the wiser, and you can profit by it. Those three great options are only available with leasing. Now, having said that, if you're concerned about the mileage that you're putting on the vehicle and you can't control that, you don't know what's going to happen in the next 2, 3, or 4 years, and you want the peace of mind of not having that surprise afterwards, then you can certainly take advantage of the bank financing. Which is most important to you? Having full autonomy and control of the vehicle in the event that you start putting a lot of mileage on it and no surprises, or subtracting the trade-in, only paying tax on the portion of the vehicle that you're using so that you don't finance your trade-in. That's all I'm suggesting right now. And that's how you overcome, I'm still undecided between these models. I hope you really enjoyed this game. My name is Bill Harvey with the Auto Dealership Academy. For all of you using the Auto Sales Academy on Facebook and the Auto Dealership Academy on LinkedIn, thank you so much for joining me. This will be available on our YouTube channel as well for you to watch. And please share it, like it, comment. Your comments are greatly appreciated. It lets me know that I'm on the right track, and share with me your stories and anecdotes and how it has all played out for you and how these customers are twisting some of these classic objections and manipulating and controlling you, and I'm more than happy to help out. Join me again next week. Pardon me, there will not be a live next week. The next live will be August, I think the 28th. Next week I will be on stage, so not able to be live. I will record some of that and post it up for you so you can expect some dialogue and conversation here and get a chance to see it. And of course, I hope you're achieving your maximum potential. And if you're not, if you're struggling, if you've not got the training that you desperately wanted and needed whenever you started, if you feel like you're competing with colleagues on the showroom floor, not a part of the team, if you are just not sure and you don't believe that every shopper is a buyer, do yourself a favor. Book a call with me. I'll put a link right below, right after this session is over and the video is published by each platform. And just book a call with me. 15 minutes could change your life. I hope you're having a fantastic day. This week is turning out well for you. And if you're not meeting your maximum potential, then book a call with me. I look forward to talking to you again live in two weeks from today. And then we'll be on our regular scheduled weekly cadence of these live sessions at 11 o'clock. Bye-bye for now.